Welcome to Badminton Unlimited, your weekly access to badminton action and beyond. This week, we sit down with Singapore's leading men's singles shuttler, Derek Wong, as he talks about the highs and lows of his career. And we're in Ecuador to find out how BWF's Shuttle Time is making an impact in the country. Ask most professional badminton players and they'll tell you support from family often plays an integral role in their success. For Singapore's top men's singles shuttler, Derek Wong, those closest to him have had a major impact in shaping his career. As the son of Wong Shun Kiet, the country's only gold medal winner at the Southeast Asian Games, and arguably one of the nation's best shuttlers, the route into top-level badminton had been laid out.
My dad was the 1983 SEA Games gold medalist, and I've watched him play from young, and it's really very inspiring. So my dad was the one who brought me to the hall and started me, holding a racket and started to hit around with me.
Recently, Badminton Unlimited was in Singapore to sit down with the 26-year-old as he shared with us his sporting journey. Derek was born into a badminton family. Apart from his father, his mother was also a national player, and his brother Jason currently trains with the Singapore team as well.
It's one of a kind, from what I've heard so far. Not many families are like mine who, we have my mom, my dad, they're playing badminton, my brothers, they all know how to play badminton. It's partly because of family support and knowing that if I keep going on, right, the support is always there, going to be there. My dad played a very important role in me playing badminton for Singapore. He paved the way for me from the secondary school onwards. What would my route be? Because at that point of time, you are not old enough to actually decide what you're going to do.
Initially balancing the demands of playing badminton and studying, 2007 eventually saw the Singaporean drafted into the national team on a full-time basis. Although his first career highlight only came 4 years later, the wait was justified when he defeated former Olympic champion Taufik Hidayat in the second round of the 2011 BWF World Championships in London. Growing in confidence, Derek capped off a breakthrough year by clinching the bronze at the SEA Games hosted in Jakarta, Indonesia.
I took part in 2007 SEA Games that was in Korat. 2009 was in Laos, and 2011 in Jakarta. So I had a few experience with the SEA Games before I could actually achieve the bronze medal. I think it is necessary sometimes for this kind of major games. Taufik was a very good player. He's very skillful. He's very intelligent on court. When I played against him, all I had to do was tell myself that I have to play my best game. I have to play my fastest game against him, and that's what I did. For me, it was quite lucky because I could actually play quite well that day and keep the shots in.
The world number 47 would go on to play in his first Olympics at the 2012 London Games. Although he exited at the group stage, he is still grateful for the chance to be at the world's biggest sporting event.
Being in the village, seeing the different countries all over the world consolidated into one village, and they're all roaming around, doing their normal routine. Some are training, some are going to the canteen for food, some are, just hanging out with friends. Even they might be from different countries, but they just hang out together. So it's like a big unity, a big bonding of athletes, and it's something that the Olympics has at a higher scale.
Last year marked Derek's biggest accomplishment so far. At the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, he won a silver medal, losing a narrow final to India's Kashyap Parupalli. An unexpected achievement, and at the same time, a missed opportunity, Derek was philosophical in defeat.
Making it to the finals of the Commonwealth Games was also really unbelievable for me. I couldn't believe that I actually made it to the finals. Yeah. But I still keep myself focused and stayed strong for the finals. Unfortunately, yeah, it went to Kashyap. But I mean, he did play a very good round of game. I mean, his progression towards the finals, he played many good games. Failure is inevitable. You have to fail in order to know what you have to improve in. Then you come back to your training, and then you apply whatever you think can make the changes for you, so that you will move on to the next level and not make the same mistake in the next game.
The Singaporean is now focused on performing well in the upcoming tournaments as he bids to qualify for next year's Rio Olympics. He already has a game plan in mind for the upcoming Total BWF World Championships.
The World Champs is a very tough tournament because there are many good players that will be there. If we know our opponents, we will go and study them, watch their videos, and try to understand how they play certain shots. It's also part of the Olympics qualification, one of the tournaments that is part of the Olympics qualification, so have to try to do well there as well, and other tournaments.
Although a maiden title continues to elude him, his progress suggests that it is only a matter of time. Still young and determined to match the achievements of his father, Derek Wong is looking to the future with optimism. Time to test your badminton knowledge. Name the men's doubles pair who won 3 consecutive BWF World Championship titles from 2009 to 2011. We give you the answer after the break.
My favorite holiday is just being home, because we have vacation like 2 weeks a year or something, and it's really nice to be home.
I like to go to Greece. Because I like food and they have really good food there, and the weather is good. I bring my wife. That's good.
Why?
Little.
Probably bring my husband as well, but
I want to eat dinner with the Swedish king. I always want to meet him since I was a little child, so maybe someday that will be true.
I don't know, actually. Sorry.
When we get back, we're in New Zealand to learn more about the youth programs spearheaded by Auckland Badminton. Before the break, we asked you to name the men's doubles pair who won 3 consecutive BWF World Championship titles from 2009 to 2011. The answer is Tai Yun and Fu Haifeng. In 2011, the Chinese duo defeated Korea's Ko Sung-hyun and Yu Yeon-seong in London to claim their 3rd successive men's doubles world championship title. They remain the only men's doubles pair to have been triumphant in winning 3 consecutive world titles. With the duo first tasting victory in 2006, the win in England was also Tai and Fu's overall 4th BWF World Championship crown. Over the last few months, we've been keeping a close eye on the development of badminton in New Zealand. The sport has been played competitively in the country for nearly a century, with the national team formed in the 1930s. With an extensive number of associations across the nation supporting its development, badminton has witnessed healthy growth. And nowhere more than in the North Island, particularly the Auckland region, where many of the country's players hail from.
In New Zealand, obviously the Auckland area is very competitive. I guess the The major associations are ourselves, North Harbour, Waikato. At a senior age bracket, Waitakere are very strong. A lot of that's due to population and also the number of coaches and players up here. So we'd be one of the higher ranked ones.
Auckland Badminton was established in 1930. Whilst there are other associations on the island, Auckland Badminton continues to be the major player in boosting the growth of the sport and is the dominant force in the national competitions.
We've got a very good record at juniors, so I think the under-17s, we've won the under-17 national champs for teams events for the last sort of 5 or 6 years, as long as I can sort of remember. Generally, we're in the top 2 associations through most age brackets.
The association boasts a strong junior setup, starting with players as young as 8 years old. They run annual trials searching for budding talent.
So with our juniors, we break them down into 4 age groups. So we have junior trials at the beginning of the year. So each age group will have a lead coach. They'll train a minimum of 2 times a week and up to 5 times a week for the higher level players. We also do off-court programs with them to help them with recovery, looking after themselves, physio and fitness.
Auckland Badminton also selects young players from local clubs. Its program aims to nurture and mould these junior shuttlers into potential national players.
We have players in a training environment from the age of about 7 or 8. But before that, that's where the clubs come in, so they get their badminton experience at the clubs. And then in our programs, we try and pick out the more promising ones and give them a few more opportunities and more specialised training.
A number of Auckland Badminton's young players who have gone through the junior program have been drafted into the current New Zealand under-19 squad. Among them is 15-year-old Sally Fu, who is the association's Triple Crown winner at the 2014 Under-17 National Championships and one of the country's hopes for women's singles.
So we've got quite an interesting bunch at under-19s at the moment. We have obviously Sally. She's probably one of the top open players in the country at the moment. We have a number of them also. We've got Daxon Vong. He was the under-19 national champion. We have his younger brother Dackman. He was under-15s last year. And then within Ben Hillier, he was runner-up in one of the senior events last year.
Auckland Badminton is also one of Badminton New Zealand's regional associations that spearheaded the BWF Shuttle Time program. Its coaches work tirelessly to introduce badminton to schools with a long-term goal in mind.
What we're trying to do is create a link between the school and then play afterwards, whether that be at a club or a satellite group or something else. And then from there, once they're a member of a club, trying to get them involved in the inter-club, which is competitive play, competitions, and then ultimately for Auckland. And then those players that play for Auckland obviously can represent at national events where the selectors will select them into the New Zealand junior sort of groups or senior groups if they're an adult.
But in the development of any sport, funding is crucial. Auckland Badminton is currently looking at ways to strengthen its financial support to ensure that no one is turned away before realising his or her potential.
The big plan is sort of to grow the base and grow the numbers, because there's not a lot of money in badminton in New Zealand. We can fund it through participation. So if we can grow the participation, that can act as sort of 2 things. Basically, one, it's promoting the game, and if we have more people playing the game, we're going to have hopefully more players come through into our performance squads. But also if you have more people paying to play the game, that's a way for us to fund and help out the more prominent players.
With badminton still seen as a less celebrated sport in New Zealand, it is a challenge to develop and promote the game. But Auckland Badminton has a long and proud history of developing players, and the current administrators are keen to uphold that legacy. Let's find out how badminton is doing in other parts of the world. This week, we get a postcard from Scotland.
Hi, I'm Kirsty Gilmore. I'm from Scotland. I'm 21 and I'm a women's singles player. It was Scotland's maybe the best small nation in the world. It's got beautiful landscapes, beautiful cities. It's famous for its bagpipes, its kilts, its whiskey, shortbreads, iron brew. It's got so much to offer, and it's just an absolutely beautiful place to be and live. The badminton scene in Scotland is it's got a very high participation, and there's always clubs and squads that you can get into with friends, family on a social level. And then we do quite well at a junior international level, and of course we're really trying to push forwards and perform on a world senior level also. I like badminton. I love to travel. I love to see new cities. A lot of these cities are very new for me, and yeah, to travel with friends and compete at a high level, and just it's full of disappointment, but for that one winning moment, it makes it all worth it.
We're in South America when we return, and BWF's schools badminton program Shuttle Time extends its global footprint to Ecuador. After a mid-season break, some of the top players made an appearance at the Yonex Open Chinese Taipei earlier in the month, giving us an opportunity to look at the BWF World Rankings. This week we focus on the women's doubles and the good form of the world #1 pair from Japan, Misaki Matsutomo and Ayaka Takahashi. The duo's season began with a rough start as they couldn't make it to the weekend at the Yonex German Open. They were then dumped out of the Yonex All England Championships in the second round in the beginning of March. But the Japanese pair came back strong later that month as they registered their first win of the year at the Yonex Sunrise India Open. A runner-up finish at the OUE Singapore Open in April was followed by semi-finals appearances at the Star Australian Open and Yonex Open Chinese Taipei. Their consistent performances have seen them move to the top of the world rankings. With several big tournaments still to come this year, the pair will be hoping to maintain their good form. Don't forget, the BWF World Rankings are updated every Thursday. Log on to www.bwfbadminton.org for the latest information and statistics. BWF's Shuttle Time has been a global success since its introduction in 2012. With its aim to help teachers and coaches develop skills to deliver badminton to children and youth in a fun and enjoyable way, the program has been instrumental in growing the sport in countries where badminton is less established. The grassroots development program has experienced great success in the Americas.
Es muy importante, especialmente en los últimos años.
With the support of BWF, we have been successful in organizing shuttle time programs the last few years. We've been able to make a breakthrough into the sport and social systems of the countries. This has been very important for the growth of badminton in our region.
De crecimiento del deporte y conocer el badminton.
Badminton Pan Am has been one of the most active continental confederations using Shuttle Time to promote and develop the sport. From Canada in the north to Cuba in the Caribbean and Argentina in the south, thousands of children have been introduced to the sport through BWF's Schools Badminton program.
Es una prioridad en el programa de plan de la Federación Mundial en estos 4 años.
Shuttle time has been the priority of our federation the last 4 years. We have successfully held shuttle time in 21 countries, and the program in Ecuador will be the 22nd. Next, we will stage it in Paraguay and Venezuela. That will see shuttle time reach 24 countries in the Pan Am region. It's important that we develop the interest of the sport in these nations.
Con los niños.
Ecuador recently hosted a 3-day shuttle time course at the local association's badminton center in the city of Guayaquil, and Badminton Unlimited was there to witness firsthand the workings of this globally successful program.
I am very excited because this is our first time in the city of Guayaquil. We are hoping that our efforts here in introducing badminton to the teachers and students will leave a deep impression of the sport in Ecuador. We really want to help the development of badminton here.
For many of the local sports teachers and coaches who participated in the Teachers and Tutors course, it was their first experience with badminton. Through theory and practical lessons on basic technical, tactical, and physical elements of the game, 21 participants were certified as badminton teachers, and 8 were qualified as tutors. The newly certified badminton coaches are now qualified to pass on fundamental skills and knowledge to the youth of the country.
The aim is to grow badminton, and we also want to popularize the sport. We want to have badminton included in the school curriculum as part of the students' sporting activities. These teachers will be the ones to introduce and teach badminton to these students. It's the hope that these new players will become the next generation of badminton players of Ecuador.
One of the key focal points in learning how to teach badminton is knowing how to engage children with entertaining and fun badminton lessons.
Lo importante para nosotros es iniciar desde la base, llámese con niños a temprana edad.
The most important thing is to start with the basics of the game and make it enjoyable and fun for the children. We want the kids to fall in love with badminton, as for most of them, it's the first time that they try to play the sport. We want them to learn badminton, develop a passion for badminton, so that we can build the sport, and hopefully, in the near future, they'll become players and start competing in national and international tournaments.
Para ya luego pasar a juegos formales de badminton, para que en un futuro a corto plazo ellos ya pertenezcan a las competencias locales o bien en un futuro a las competencias internacionales.
In South America, where football is the most popular sport, Shuttle Time gives the young an opportunity to try a new activity, a racket game.
Lo que vamos a buscar es de que el niño conozca un deporte nuevo.
It is hoped at the end of this session, the kids will come to know a new sport, new game, and a new activity. They would have learned another beautiful game. They will realize that badminton is actually a safe sport with no risk of getting hurt. They learn that it's a fun sport that can be played nearly everywhere, indoors and even outdoors. And they sometimes do not even need a racket or shuttlecock because of the creative exercises we have taught them.
Es que se enamoren de un deporte nuevo para que en un futuro ya lo conozcan.
The development of the sport in Ecuador will potentially help increase the numbers of the national team. Currently, with a modest squad of about 9 players of varying levels and age groups, it presents a challenge for the national side when it comes to team competitions.
Nosotros hemos tenido mucho problema en ampliar la base de deportistas.
We have badminton players, but there's so few of us, so we have difficulties participating in team events. With Shuttle Time, we now have more coaches, and in the future, we hope to have more players. Then we'll be able to compete as a team.
De seleccionarlos y llevarlos al alto rendimiento.
The Ecuador Badminton Federation is already drawing up plans to expand the Shuttle Time program and reach out to more schools. Although the development of badminton is still in its infancy, the country has taken a positive step in cultivating interest in the sport. It's hoped that from these tiny steps, Ecuador might one day produce a giant in the sport. Let's look at what's happening on the international circuit in our Badminton Unlimited calendar. Get connected with us. Log on to these websites for videos, photos, and get the latest news and information on all things badminton. Missed an episode of Badminton Unlimited? Or perhaps you just want to catch your favorite episode again? Well, you can do so at your convenience on our YouTube channel. All the best badminton videos are just a click away. Next week on Badminton Unlimited, we take a walk down memory lane with Malaysia's former women's doubles world #1 pair, Wong Pei Ti and Chin Yi Hui. See you next week.